Doesn't say live. Good evening to the Quack Show, everybody, and happy Saturday night. We are coming to you live tonight like we always do, but we are going to kind of shoot from the hip this week with everything that's gone on in America this week with Donald Trump being your next president. God help us all.
Don't remind me.
God help us all. We are talking politics today, but we're going to try to keep it a little bit lighter, maybe, and give you some information, give you some places that you can go to.
I'm going to drink.
Yeah, Stephanie is definitely going to drink. And before we go any further, I want to just let everybody know why. You might think that this is quite a weird getup that I have on today, but it is quite well thought out. So what you have here is you have a police hat because me as a Canadian looking in, looks like you guys are headed for a police state again. And looks like you guys are in trouble and people are going to be knocking on your doors and taking numbers and profiling and all sorts of different shit. And shit is getting real down there. So this is for the police state you are entering into. This, my friends, this is for what rules America. It rules the world, but it seems to rule America a little bit more. And this is the almighty...
Cash rules everything around me.
The almighty dollar, my friend. And in the new America, Trump's America, you better have a lot of it. You better have a shitload of it. Because if not, you're going back to wherever you're from, I'm getting a feeling. Now, third, we're going to talk about my Superman shirt. Okay? Superman, because... we all need to unite. We all need to stand together, all the countries, and put in some sort of superhuman effort, some superhuman power to make sure that the evils of this world do not take over all of what I truly believe is the good people in this world. That is the majority. And finally, the Pride sunglasses. Because I'm always going to have pride, baby. It don't matter. You can't take it away. You can't take it away from me. You can't take away my rights. You can take away anything you want on paper, but I am still me. I'm still strong, and I'm still a person. So,
and I'm still Canadian.
And I'm still Canadian.
Can I get
I'm going to keep on this hat because I kind of like it. It makes me feel a little bit like BDSM-ish. And we've never really talked about that on the show, so maybe we should just include those people in here today.
We totally have to have a BDSM show.
We haven't had a BDSM show, right? And that's a huge part of the community, like of our extended community. So there's no better way to open up a discussion about politics than touching on BDSM. Now, I want to
explain to our audience what BDSM is.
Oh, well, bondage, sadomasochism. Why? You know what? I totally know what it is, and I'm just blanking out.
It's bondage. It's bondage.
Dominance.
Have some more wine, Carol.
S&M is sadomasochism. I don't even drink. You know, if you knew my family history, you would know how funny this is right now, that for some reason...
What does this have to do with your family?
You know what? I will never... That's a story for another day. But, yeah. Bondage, dominance, masochism. I keep wanting to say bestiality, but I think that's a completely other show aside from
that's
all
definitely
of that.
A different show.
Yeah, so that's not what the B stands for. It's for bondage, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, bondage and bestiality is a little different. Just a hair. Right here. Just a hair.
Just a hair different. Oh, wow. Wow. I think maybe the world's collective brain just came down a notch, as you are evidencing tonight on the clock.
It just went down another notch.
See, this is what happens in the aftermath, right?
Yeah.
You're at the bottom of the cesspool and everything's just trickling on you.
Exactly. Well, if we have a chance of fitting in, we got to start telling like racist jokes and sexist jokes, and we got to start throwing tomatoes at any ethnicities we see on the street. Like, if you want to make it out of the concentration camps that are being built, I mean, isn't that what we should be doing? Is that taking it too far? Oh, I'm sorry, America.
For as conservative as I can be, I don't think so, because I feel like if you can't make fun of yourself and each other, what good is that, right? The whole idea is
you can't take a joke.
Remember, I'm from Canada, so I'm on the outside looking in. You want to talk about the wall that they're going to build? Like, it sounds like there's going to be lots of walls everywhere.
Did you hear about
You
the
guys are
fact
building one
that
against us.
as Trump was being like showing to have won, the how to become a Canadian citizen site crashed? Like, we crashed the server.
And I was on the phone with Carol at that moment saying, listen, you guys aren't getting married. Adrian and I are getting divorced, and then we're going to marry you two. And then you can sponsor us. We were having the conversation at the time that the site crashed.
And to be honest, there's something quite nice and soothing about the thought of having a compound together with a bunch of other lesbians and a bunch of chickens and some,
bunny rabbits.
No, there will be a Hilton.
A tofu patch. What the lesbians eat? A big tofu patch. I don't raise chickens.
Oh yeah, we need a big tofu patch. Is there a taco plant? How do we grow tacos?
Actually, we are the tacos. Ba-da-ba.
But no, this is for married lesbians. Nobody has Taco Tuesday anymore. You know that, Stephanie.
That's right. We have Taco 3 a.m. That's what that is in 15 minutes.
We have the tacos are ready? Okay, when we're in hell.
No, you made them wrong. God, Stephanie.
Too much seasoning.
Not enough.
Let's get rolling with hot flashes. What I thought would be neat with these hot flashes is I wrote these hot flashes before the election results. So I think it's going to be kind of interesting to kind of look at the statements that I chose as I was reading through them today, now that we know what we know. So let's roll. Barack Obama has stated about this election, in the end, that's what this election is about. Do we participate in a politics of cynicism or a politics of hope? So my question was, is this basically what this election comes down to? Did Donald Trump have any platform other than putting down minorities and building walls? So we have the results now. So what do you think? Did cynicism win? What won this election?
Yeah.
Fear. I think fear won. Go
for it, Steph.
I think that literally a large part of these people treated this like the World Series game, and it was as if they were betting against the Indians and the Cubs. And I think that they were like, we're gonna win! And then they went, what are we winning against? We're beating Hillary. We're beating Trump, right? They didn't go, at the end of this contest, there's actual fucking consequences.
Yeah.
So that was a large part of it. I don't know if you know this, but only 46% of Americans actually voted.
I did have that stat.
So after the 46, she won the majority, but half of the half is who actually voted for Trump. Yet all of white people are being blamed for being Trump supporters. So it's kind of problematic because that doesn't really meet up. And then, on the other end too, the sore losers of it all just happen to be every single other demographic in our country. So go figure that one out.
Yeah.
It's just the winners and the losers. And now that we're a couple days after,
Speaking of
cynicism.
Speaking of a couple days after, we've seen this question at play already a few days after. We've seen the people on the street getting beaten. We've seen the photos and the memes going around on Facebook of gay men with bottles smashed over their heads. Is this in line with what did cynicism win? Is this everybody now? Is it a free-for-all on anybody that you don't like because you've got the government behind you?
Well, news is proving that, but I would probably say I would guess. I mean, I didn't look at the statistics because I pulled away from media so fast. I didn't even know there was rioting, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised to find that out.
Yeah.
But I would say it's a smaller demographic that's causing all of this anti-Semitic, anti-race rhetoric. And then in the flip side, racist beating white people up and attacking people for assuming they're voting.
I even saw a group of black men beating up an old white guy too for the same thing because they said he was a Trump. And I don't agree with that any more than I agree with the other. I don't want some old white stupid fool who thought he would vote for Trump getting beat up by a group of black men either.
Well, he probably drove through with a Trump sticker on your car, and I hate to say this, but that makes you a magnet. So, not that I agree or I condone that behavior, but if you're going to put that stuff on your car and you're going to know what comes with it, same thing, no offense, I mean this, in the best possible way, same thing with our community. Right now is not the time to have all the rainbow stuff on your car, unless you're somebody who can really deal with the repercussions of that. If you're fine with being confronted, if you're cool with dealing, fist fighting your way out because somebody's going to be psycho about it or throw something in your car, hey, go for it. That 10 years ago, I invited this girl who founded something called Fag Bug. And I was running a softball team in Philly, and she was traveling all around the country trying to get people to take notice that someone wrote the word fag on her car. And if you look it up on Netflix, they actually has a documentary that Netflix picked up about it. Wow. And when I was talking to her about it, obviously my first question was, well, aren't you afraid to do that? And she's like, not really. She's like, I got the word fag, so it was as bad as I thought it would get. And it turned out that she found more love with that car than she found any kind of hate. So she dealt with it, especially when she was driving through the southern states, but take it as it is, right?
Yeah.
I have children. I'm not interested in prolonging that. I don't want to highlight that because they can't, my older one can't function and think about what that hate would do to us. So there's nothing on my car. Yeah. There never has been anything on my car. I don't know. I just don't put it on my car. Like, why would I?
Yeah. For anybody out there,
Stephanie, not for me.
Yeah, for anybody out there watching, I want you to, sorry, I get so excited when we do these live shows where I have free for all that I forgot that write into us. If you're watching us live on YouTube right now, you can comment in the comment section. We want to know what you're thinking, especially people, not only do we want to hear from people inside the U.S., but also people like myself outside in Canada. Do you think there's a trickle-down effect? Do you think that we need to watch ourselves, or do you think that we're progressive enough of a country to overcome what's coming, the wave that seems to be coming from America? What were you going to say, Hallie?
I also want to speak from the literal other side of the country. I'm in Oregon. It's not like that here. I mean, yes, there were protests that did have a little group of anarchists that joined them up in Portland, which is about an hour from me. But I mean, over here, people have their Trump stickers. They have their Hillary stickers. We are overrun with rainbow and HRC stickers. And that's just not a thing here. It never has been. It currently still isn't. I honestly don't believe that we're going to see that super rash of the crazy Trump people really impacting us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's hope so. And
so just come move to Oregon, Steph.
Yeah, you're close enough to the Canadian border there that our niceness wears off on you. Because Canadians are just too polite. Like, I don't know. I've even thought about it as far as some of these LGBT summits and things that are coming up. I mean, my family has had legit concerns about me heading into an area, any area, whether it be New York, California, any kind of like where there's a huge gathering of minorities in Trump's America, because, it feels like there's a very real threat there right now, and we can't let those people win. But
exactly,
you do have to balance that with, you also have to come home to your family at the end of the day too, right?
That's true.
Yeah. Simon Sinek, it's probably Sinek, because who would name their kid Simon Sinek? That's kind of a mouthful.
In Philadelphia, you should hear these kids' names. They're interesting.
Simon Sinek wisely said, leadership is not about the next election. It's about the next generation. What is this election going to do to the next generation? What does this look like?
You want me to tell the story what happened with Riley today?
Yeah, please do.
I just posted it on Pantsuit Nation. If you're in the group, great. If you're not, tell us and we'll add you. So I have a big Hillary Clinton sign poster. I met her maybe 6 months before she announced her run. And I got this poster and it said ready and it had hashtag on it. Actually, here's the picture of it in my kid's toy room.
Love it.
Okay. And I tried to take it down and my daughter asked us to put it back up. And I thought that was really sweet.
And what did she actually say?
Then we were walking up the steps, and she had the Hillary Clinton sign, and she kissed it, and she said, "Oh, Hill.
Oh, Hill. Oh, Hill."
So I think that for me, like, everything I wanted her to get out of this election, she got out of it. And all the negative stuff, I'm not really interested in her getting any of that. She got the empowerment message. She got the positivity message. She got the you can do anything. that you set your mind to. She got the be yourself message. So I'm cool with that. Right. And that was at the part that was important.
Yeah. Do you think this is how politics is going to look in America going forward? It's like a dog and pony show, it seems like. Or do you think
I would say
this is a one-off?
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Do you think it's a one-off or it's the way we're headed with social media and all this stuff?
I'm eager to answer that question, and especially to our viewers, because I was talking about that actually with someone else in the local chapter of Pantsuit Nation that actually formed within my county. Okay. And I think it's really good because a lot of those women that were in that group are trying to raise their daughters to be more interested in politics now than they are in actual entertainment. Yeah. So I think it shifted perspective and the reality of people being passionate about our country and getting involved on the subservient levels I would like to think that more people are going to do it. The conversations I've had, it seems like parents will be encouraging their kids to take part in that and possibly, encourage them to look at political people as the superstars versus the actual fake ones, if you want to call it that. So right now politicians have such a bad rap that I don't know. I can only tell you that I will push the positive politicians to my kids. Yeah. Right? Because they actually can invoke change and affects people's lives. Like LeBron James really isn't messing with anybody's life. He's pretty much just making extra money and slamming basketballs. I mean, not that he's not a good role model. He's got a good charity on the side, but at the same time, I'm like, I mean, Paul Ryan, for as conservative as he is, he's a pretty decent politician, right? I mean, some conservative on that side should say, hey, be like a Paul Ryan instead of, being like, I don't know, whoever.
Yeah. Hallie, do you think that the message that we as a society sent to your 6-year-old is no matter what you do, if you're a woman, you're not going to be as good as the biggest buffoon of a man?
That is exactly, I think that is what she knows, but, I guess I don't know how to explain that. This morning we had a whole conversation in the car, and I recorded it, and I'll post it actually a little bit later because...
Awesome. Where are you going to post it?
I'm going to post it on The Quack Show, the Facebook's Quack Show page. But she said it's not... Basically, that man or that boy who won, she called him a boy, which I loved. But she said that boy who won was just mean to girls, and he's so wrong because girls can do whatever they want. Now she is being raised in with 2 moms, and then a billion grandmas and aunts, and she's being raised in a very female dominant family.
Strong estrogen around her.
Yep, it's a little bit much, but it's good. I mean, I want her to grow up to be like that. We also, in thinking about, what this generation is doing is we now have millennials. Technically, I'm in the millennial cusp. I'm just barely there, but we now have millennials having children and raising children, and millennials are questioning things, and they're on Facebook and they're on social media and they're on all of these things, and they're now raising our next generation. So it's not just the kids that are growing up right now, but it's the people who are raising them are looking more towards,
What do you say about the stat that basically said it was the millennials that didn't get out and vote? Do you think it's true, and why?
I know for a fact that there's a ton of people that, especially in Oregon, because we don't have that many electoral votes, they're like, what's the big deal? Oregon was a huge Bernie supporter, huge Bernie state. And when he didn't get brought in, they're like, what's the point?
Whatever.
And it's like, no, guys, you don't understand that if you a vote that's not for Hillary is a vote for Trump. I mean, obviously we saw that. It came literally down to that. It was...
Well, I just told you it was a win or loss game. It wasn't... Nobody thought beyond the president. They didn't think about Mike Pence becoming the president someday. They didn't think about what happened when all the right-wing people who were trying to pass the transgender bathroom law got reelected.
Yeah.
Nobody paid attention to that part.
No,
so you were electing Hillary on the principle that the current status of government that represents you as a minority would still be there. They missed that.
Yep. They thought that that by them protesting and not voting that was gonna. Are you fucking kidding me?
Let's talk about that. I've seen some fights out there about people saying that they didn't go out and vote, and then other people saying you can't really talk that, and them coming back and say I can talk. It's free speech. I mean, I didn't want to support either of them. What do you think of that?
Pause.
That's broken.
My wife is watching with my little brother downstairs. John, can you bring me some more wine? Thank you.
Stat. She's about to go off on people.
This is a new and approved Stephanie since Tuesday. You gotta get used to me.
I love it. Stephanie, what do you think? If you don't vote, do you have a right to say anything about it? Do you have a right to complain?
Nope.
And are you part of the problem?
Yep.
Because I'm sorry,
I'm gonna start charging you like they do in Australia. If you don't vote in Australia, you get charged $250 American. Don't quote me on that amount. I think that's the case. Yeah, I only heard that statistic once. I think it's $250. But your government charges you if you don't vote, and it's not because they're trying to be bullies. It's because they're trying to encourage you to be unified and pick the people that you think are important. And my Canadian. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I mean, it's just like you get charged to have healthcare now.
Yeah.
Well, they have free universal healthcare.
Yeah, you guys aren't going to have it.
But then you do too, though, Carol.
Pardon me?
Let's just go to that for a second, right? Because you have universal healthcare and have what? For pretty much your whole life, right?
All my life.
So if the Affordable Health Care Act gets, completely zotzed out and there really isn't a sufficient way to help these people stay insured, do you think that that's a good thing, or do you think it's a bad thing based on your experiences with free? This is the little brother of the century. Look at this guy. I love this boy. I knew you would hear my cries. He left me the bottle.
Boom! Boom!
That's a good man right there.
That's a real good man.
Wait, didn't he just get engaged?
Can you see what this is called?
Yeah.
Look at this wine.
Federally. I love it.
Nice.
I love it. You know what? I'm a Canadian, so I believe in universal health care. I believe in, that we all deserve health care on whatever level. I believe that you shouldn't have to mortgage your house to get that health care. We also pay a hell of a lot higher taxes in Canada. The taxes we pay in Canada, you guys in the U.S. would never go for. But we're okay with it because we're more of a, I don't know.
But you make a little bit more to compensate for that, right?
Pardon me?
You guys make a little bit more than we do to compensate for that, though, too, right? Your entire budget is structured differently.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like we were talking earlier today, teachers over here make a good chunk of change as opposed to teachers in the U.S. Police officers over here, that's $100,000 a year job.
But
in the
also,
US,
Carol,
I think it's $30,000 a year, if that.
Right. Yeah. What is your healthcare like, though? Because I know.
We have a waiting list. We definitely have a waiting list. I mean, you in the U.S. get in for things really quickly. We could wait 6 months or a year for an MRI, unless you're rich. But there's also a way to get around it. So if you have money, for example, before I moved here, I needed to get an MRI on my knee. I was on a waiting list. I didn't want to restart the waiting list here in BC. So my dad just paid for my MRI, $600. But I was in that day. So you kind of have both here. You have, if you can wait and it's not a big deal, you get it for free. If you need it quicker, you can pay for it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. On something.
That's also, it seems like a way for the government to make more money, or
probably,
the private sector.
Probably. Our government loves money, but
government doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. But I definitely think that people, obviously there's free speech. You can say whatever the hell you want. You can say you're a chicken and jump around. But, saying that you have a right to talk about the election when you didn't vote.
Absolutely not. I'm sorry. I'm a huge proponent of, if you're not going to be part of the solution, don't be part of the problem. And I would even say, people, even if you voted for Gary Johnson, at least you voted. At least you went out there, you felt convicted about something.
Part of the problem as well, but at least you did.
Say, I hate you.
Yeah. At least
but you have valid
can identify you and hate you.
But I'm sorry, if you're just sitting at home being like, I hate the way the world is. Fucking do something about it.
Yeah, exactly. Cal Thomas was quoted saying, one of the reasons people hate politics is that truth is rarely a politician's objective. Election and power are. Does anyone really believe in anything politicians say or promise during the election?
No.
Yes.
You believe in Hillary?
Yes, I do.
You do believe that there's going to be a 100-day plan? You do believe?
Why are all politicians represented by Hillary Clinton? Why did you go there? The question was, do I believe that politicians are truthful? Yes, I do.
So you do. How can you?
I think
Let's hope why, because I'm going to tell you why.
Cleansing in the first 100 days of office.
You're asking my opinion, right?
Yeah.
Everybody lies. Okay?
Exactly.
Everyone lies. And because everybody lies and everybody is fragmented, You will lie in your job. You lie in your job every day. Don't lie and say that you don't, right? Everybody does. And I do agree that when you're running for the president of the United States, you should be held to a completely different standard. But to act like that person's not human is really stupid because they're liars. We're all liars, okay? Yeah. And anyone tries to pretend that they're not a liar is an idiot. It's the people that try to be better than the lie, right? Hillary missed the mark the whole time. You lied about the emails because the truth is you probably didn't have enough information to tell the truth. So you lied about it. Or there was a reason, some kind of secret reason that I'm not allowed to know to lie about it. Or, frankly, you just didn't want anyone in your business. Fine, lie. But it happened. How she should have handled it is said, I lied. I'm a human being. You lie every day. I will try my hardest to not do that again. Here's the situation. This is all I can tell you, and let's move on. She never said that. And that was the problem people had with her. But if you're talking about all politicians, yes. I do believe that at the core they are truthful. They tend to be more truthful in the beginning of their careers because they try to gain strength. And then when they actually gain more responsibility and they're allotted a different privilege because they know more than we do about certain things, we don't have to know everything. We elect them so they handle that stuff. I don't need to know. Yeah. I don't put people on pedestals to force them to have to lie. So no.
One of the things that you pointed out to me when we were talking throughout this week, and being in Canada, I'm going to admit I haven't studied the 100% how politics work in the United States. So you pointed this out to me, and I thought it was really interesting. I think the people need to hear it and understand that it's not so much that this Dog and Shoney Poe.
Have another drink, Carol.
And then I said dong afterwards.
I didn't say that.
You always want to.
You want some of this?
You always want to say dong on a lesbian talk show.
That dong.
I don't worry necessarily about Trump. To me, he's just a focal point for the party. Here's what I worry about. What Stephanie pointed out to me today is to look at the map and see that everywhere is red. There's no opposition. There's no other voice. There's nobody to try and control the onslaught of stupidity. And
from the Republican.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Well, the blues are there. It's just they're not the majority. Exactly. So they'll piss around for a little while, but any policies that want to get voted through, the majority vote is with the red.
Yeah. And then I started thinking, okay, and it might be time for an assassination. There hasn't been an assassination for a long time. Let's just get rid of this guy. And then my beautiful girlfriend pointed out to me the alternative, which is
Pence is way scarier.
Mike Pence. Let's talk about Mike Pence on our way out. What is scarier about Mike Pence, Hallie? Why do we not want Donald Trump killed if that is what the gay people are hoping for?
Because Donald Trump's not your problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the hardcore Republicans that actually they didn't want Trump. Like early on, they said they didn't want Trump, but he was getting the most money, the most attention. He was bringing something. He is absolutely a showman, and so he was bringing something to the Republican Party that they didn't have. So they slipped Pence in there to actually go through with what needed to be done. And I'm sorry, as somebody who thinks that you can go to a camp and get cleansed of your lesbian ways, that's a scary.
I want to go to that camp. That sounds like me just throwing them up.
That sounds like a taco bar.
That sounds like a good old time. That's a compound. Stephanie, give me a prediction. Do you think Donald Trump will be impeached or imprisoned within the next year? And do you think that
I've been saying that the entire time.
Do you think that was the plan all along?
That's what I said. When I dropped my earbud. That's how crazy upset I am about this.
It's about to get real up in here.
Mike Pence, when Mike Pence was chosen as the VP, I literally was like, he's the worst thing that could happen. Because it doesn't even matter what my opinion is, okay? Facts show you right now that he's done everything in his power to try to keep the gay person down. And I'm only specifically looking at LGBTQ spectrum because I have no idea what his stance are on minorities. And at this stage, my focal point is me and my family. I'm supportive.
I can guess what they are.
Yeah, you can. So I have a legitimate emotional response of fear to this man. And my whole reaction, this silence, this day, has nothing to do with Donald Trump because he's generally a liberal guy. I'm not giving him credit. I never will because I think he's a poor excuse for a human. But Mike Pence is my problem. And now he took Christie off and made him the most important second person ever, which is supposed, I'm trying to use layman's terms. gave a lot more responsibility, and he's inching his way.
Yep.
And don't think for a second that this wasn't part of a chess match. I made this point to Carol today.
Of course it is.
There's a checkmate that happened here, okay? A checkmate in regards to the religious right and the conservative voice within America for the next 2 years, because there'll be another election. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's time to learn how this all works, or you really don't get to complain.
So tune into
for the next 2 years. It's a rat race to try to keep and make sure that we keep our rights.
Exactly. Tune into Stephanie's page at SJB, correct, on Facebook?
No,
no.
Stephanie B.
Stephanie B. Sorry, SJ. I go by her pseudonym, which I've now just outed.
SJ is my private page, and no, you cannot come on.
Yeah.
She will not
Stephanie
approve you.
B. Yes, you can come on.
There you go. If you wanna quack at Steph, that's where you get a hold of her. If you want to quack at Hallie, where do they get a hold of you?
We're just gonna go with my personal page because it's Hallie Jane.
She's taking y'all personally.
I'm taking you personally.
If you want to get a hold of me, you can Carol's Comedy Corner or The Quack Show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. It's such an important discussion. It's going to go on, and we're going to revisit it as things progress, as things happen. Just remember, you're not alone. If you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling like we're heading back down the rabbit hole.
If you voted for Johnson or Stein, you are alone. I'm just kidding. You guys are such good targets this week because everybody's so pissed when I say that. I got hate mail.
Check us out at thequackshow.world. Check us out. Subscribe online. The Quack Show. And we will see you next week when we talk about insemination. Nicole and I might share some personal stories. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, there is always something to quack about.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Cheers.